paper magic will survive like the heat death of the universe, and will...
Oh, it's a smuggler's copter. Would you like to crew this? And then it crashes because they don't understand arithmetic.
All your cards belong to me.
2 minutes into macing him in the eyeballs, I switched to pepper spray. He's like, it's all right, refreshing. And went back to the mace.
Magic is dying. I'm done. Selling everything.
I might be a hoarder. And yes,
I don't have the crayons or glue to explain this to you right now.
What, are you gonna die twice?
Oil will be worthless before magic cards will.
Well, okay, Dr. Man.
That's Mr. Dr. Professor Jason.
Welcome, everybody. That was Jason. I'm Corbin. DJ.
What was
is here
Jason? What are you
as
talking?
well.
I have no idea where we're starting.
I assume that, listen, the editor's either going to cut it in somewhere where it makes sense, or the editor won't, and that's funnier. So, like, whatever.
That was
Jason.
Yeah, I did the whole intro.
Yeah, anyway, here's Jason.
What, are you going to die twice?
Welcome into the show, everybody. Jason, DJ, and I are here. We're going to talk Wilds of Eldraine. We're going to talk the latest market movements, as always. The Walking Dead, I know everyone's favorite subject, is in the news again. And we're going to look at some Mark Rosewater
Oh, right.
stuff.
Never mind. I know why.
People on YouTube can see my table that used to have all my card sorting boxes is completely...
I just want to say, I gotta love DJ's why there for content, because I'll have everyone know, a peek behind the scenes here. This was DJ's addition to the show notes. So he definitely...
A week ago! I prepped those a week ago.
What's up with that? I don't know what to say, actually.
It's completely reasonable to forget something a week later.
That's why you prep it. I've had multiple things over the past few days where I thought, I should really write that down. I won't remember it. And then
I would love if
DJ's
DJ's marijuana use, his daily marijuana abuse, wasn't interfering with his ability to do the podcast.
Yeah,
I
DJ,
wrote it
you
down.
can get all
Yeah,
that.
because that's you were going to forget, Cheech.
Next week, I'll just, come in a straitjacket and be like, what's up, everyone? This is DJ from Rehab.
Well, I
did a marijuana.
After that, after whatever this just was, I'm almost scared to ask this next thing because this was another DJ addition to the show notes. But I have in the show notes, intro, parentheses, student loans. And that's all DJ put. So, all right, DJ, a week later, let's hear your thoughts on the world of student loans.
Well, this one's a little harder to forget than just The Walking Dead, although I'm sure some people would love to forget certain parts of The Walking Dead. This is sort of just a little bit of a reminder to everyone that the world we live in is a dystopia, and student loan repayments are resuming soon, sooner than you'd like them to, I think. So the COVID protection pause, assuming you're in America for an asterisk on all this, has passed and student loan repayments are resuming soon, and I would argue that will have a non-negligible impact on the Magic the Gathering card prices of our industry.
Not something I've thought about, I'll say that.
So I would expect a large demographic of people to have less discretionary income going into this holiday season than they might normally. I would expect to see some people selling their collections or paring down their collections that they might not otherwise have needed to do over the past couple of years. And it's just sort of a little nugget of a reminder of if you're in this position to maybe do a little bit more preparing financially than you would otherwise, just selling a few cards that are collecting dust, or maybe a commander deck that doesn't need to be owned. Or if you're in the other position and you have liquid capital, to look for opportunities to be the person who can buy collections and sort of help the game make you money and help pay off your own student loans if you're in a more favorable position.
I can't believe you just made it so sad.
Well, the world's a dystopia. People are going to be selling their precious collections. Make sure to buy their favorite deck for pennies on the dollar.
Jason,
because they got fucked by capitalism.
You have no room to talk, Mr. Prepping for the Water Wars of 2024.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think bullets are going to be more important than Power 9. Me for prepping. Look, it is sad, and that's what we deserve for electing a communist Bolshevik like Joe Biden, who's like, I'm gonna make everybody pay back their student loans as Joseph Stalin would have before me. because I'm so left wing. Hey, what if I, hey, you know those loans that you took out for $60,000 and you've been making $500 a month payments for 10 years and now you own $190,000? What if I took 10,000 off? Well, I tried. Just kidding.
Well,
I'm a socialist.
before we alienate
Half
Hey,
our
the other
listeners.
half of our listeners.
Half our listeners.
I will add on to my little sad sack of a story and mention that there are a few resources out there that I think people should be utilizing. If you happen to miss an email that you got from the Department of Education, there's a plan out there from Socialist Communist Biden called the SAVE Plan that you should probably apply for. It is a plan that tries to rectify some of those issues like interest accumulation and like high loan payments. And I mean, I applied for it because I'm potentially eligible for an income-driven repayment plan, and I would love to see my payments go from $130 a month to $8 a month. And as we say in the Magic gaming sphere, I guess, play to your outs. Even if you think you might not be eligible, it's like a 10-minute application online. You just fight through the horribly slow government website, give them your tax info, etc., and then you have the potential to save a lot of money that you otherwise might not have, even though student loan payments are not being officially canceled in a broad stroke. Like, I know there's some forgiveness plans going on depending on various factors that we're not going to get into, but it's worth looking into plans like that just to save you money.
Yeah, I actually just would agree with all of that. Second that for everybody. I didn't think about the impact it would have on the Magic market. But you're right. Obviously, a large
Any little
percentage.
shock right now.
Yeah.
Because it's all accumulative. Like, we're getting way, 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 way less article traffic because Reddit was like, hey, we made it inconvenient to browse Reddit. We're seeing, the recession, the recession that a lot of people think is coming, and the inflation going on right now is hurting singles prices. Like, every little bit sucks. So it's all, Magic cards are being overprinted and, they're completely valueless for the most part on new stuff. It's all accumulating and I don't know. I'm not saying sell your collection, but
I did. But you did. Well, DJ has been the person on this show who's always been an advocate of churning things extremely quickly, right? And in today's market, that is literally the only way to exist, right? Like, it back, 10, 15 years ago, you could at least plan out some strategies around sealed product or limited release product or anything like that. But now it's the entire game is churn. Think about
sealed product especially is so toxic to own. It's very rough.
Yeah, and think about the bath that people are taking on some of the reprints from Masters.
Hey, I'd rather not.
Fair enough.
I'd rather not.
Fair
Think
enough.
about how I picked a very bad time to sell everything.
You know what you should be thinking about instead is how useful MTG Stocks is for finding all the cards in your collection that have gone up in value. That's why we use MTG Stocks, the interest page, the premium side of the website, giving you even more tools. Everything
I made
you
a
want.
tool.
Let's hear it, Jason.
All the times where Card Kingdom is cheaper than TCG Player, I had those flagged and dropped in a spreadsheet. And if you with the filters, you can find some real deals in there.
Hey, that's
because
hype.
typically, if Card Kingdom is cheaper, something has gone wrong. Because Card Kingdom is Card Kingdom, TCG Player is a market where people undercut each other.
Yep.
So you would think that Card Kingdom would cost more because they can get the money for it because they're Card Kingdom. If they're cheaper, either they're sold out on Card Kingdom, or the stuff is like slowly starting to move up on TCG Player, but hasn't triggered like a full-on run. Anytime something shouldn't happen happens, you go look at a big list of cards, and 2 or 3 in there is just going to be an upside-down price. And that was just a thing I noticed, and it was real trivial for Arjun to program that for me. So if you have a feature idea, let me know, because I'm in a position to get that programmed as a writer for MTG Stocks. So, I'm
not gonna lie, that's kind of high.
Sometimes we have direct impact over premium features.
I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty hype because that's a a metric that Jason has talked about a lot before, because it holds value. So actually seeing it, become a real tool that is used to derive data from is really neat, I gotta say. So shout out to our sponsor MTG Socks and to Jason for that.
It's also
for
worth
that
noting
process.
that any price on Card Kingdom, well, we know Card Kingdom's prices are not great terminology here, but I guess artificially high with big air quotes.
Yeah.
Even though people pay those prices and they are real prices. You can, if you're looking to get things off of Card Kingdom, it's always worth, of course, trading into them to get credit.
Yeah.
And then using that credit, or if you just don't trade in stuff and you just want to buy cards from Card Kingdom, you can trade Card Kingdom credit on the secondary market and buy it at like 78% or 82%.
Wait, can you transfer Card Kingdom credit?
It requires a little bit of a workaround, and it's not as easy as other stores sometimes make it out to be. But yes, there is a way to transfer Card Kingdom.
Interesting. I didn't know that. That's
it does
very
involve like a
interesting.
physical gift card, and they're calling a store. Like there
Sure.
are steps involved, but yes.
But like
their buy list is so generous, like
Exactly.
it's almost a wash.
Well, that's what
Even with them, the retail being a little bit higher, the trade-in value is so much higher than like you're paying straight across.
Well, and it can definitely make sense if you're looking to move a bunch of small cards, like if you're selling cards, period, I guess, and someone else wants to buy something expensive, perhaps at a discount. If they pay you, like the model there is, you trade in your cards for store credit. That person then gives you a cash value that's somewhere in between what they would have paid themselves in cash and what you're giving them in store credit, and everyone wins. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty neat to know.
Yeah, you can do this with most stores. I know I've sold cards to Star City before and taken the credit and then just sell the credit later for a little bit more than what I would have gotten cash-wise.
Remember the old, I think it was the TCG Player Invitational Series? They had little cards with like invitational points on them.
Yeah.
And you had to have like 200 or whatever to enter the big tournament at the end of the year. And there was just straight up a secondary market for them.
Oh, it was so good. They slotted right in your trade binder.
Yeah.
It was a very Duelist Kingdom era of like you need
Yeah.
X star chips to enter.
I had a wild back page in my
Amazing,
trade
DJ.
binder. The back page in my trade binder was 1s, 5s, 10s, 20s, and cigarettes. I was willing to trade anything on the floor. Those were good times.
That's actually kind of low-key.
Honey,
amazing.
is that your debit card? Close binder. Don't worry about that. Let's.
Well, just think about you keep throwing things on the table, right?
Yeah, everything's got a number, right?
Think it's Flesh and Blood did a similar thing for their Pro Tour where you could buy invitations to the Pro Tour itself on the secondary market, which was so yeah.
That
Anyway,
back.
I like that, like a poker tournament with a buy-in.
yeah,
You either qualify by winning a satellite, or you put up
Exactly.
25 grand and you're a fucking chump, and then you lose it all.
Exactly, it's amazing.
The world needs chumps. Imagine that, like, anybody that bought in just plays people with buys the first 3 rounds.
Well, how do you feel about buying people's action? Because this is how the good gamblers that do the World Series is they get people to front the entry fee, not all of it, part of it, right? They get a bunch of people to crowdfund the entry fee and then give them back a percentage of their winnings. So I'm not sure if that, like, who's the... I don't know who's the chump
Corbin, we've been there. It's called Seance Guy.
there. Okay, fair enough.
Did somebody say my name?
No, you're a seance guy.
We didn't say it. We spelled it out on a
You
Ouija
say
board.
onst it?
We spelled it out on a Ouija board. Speaking of history, I have a new deal for you guys, and it's breaking bulk.
Breaking bulk time. Breaking bulk time. Break.
Oh, yeah, breaking bulk. There's so much good stuff.
It's a pick. Breaking bulk. The end.
All right, then, DJ, if you're starting off breaking bulk, let's
Why
see
is
what you
it?
got.
I took 2 weeks off in a row, and I come back and DJ's in charge of the podcast.
Hey, it's breaking bulk time.
All right, that's weird. Everything feels alien. Corbin does even less.
All right.
At least he used to change the date at the top of the blank show notes template.
No, we use Discord now, Jason. We've moved into the 23rd year of 20s.
I was really hoping you were going to say 23rd century.
I counted. I've missed 9 episodes total, but people are like, "Where is Jason? 9 episodes total."
Ever?
Yeah,
That's less than me.
it's
Fewer.
way less than you.
Fewer. Corbin, fewer.
Yeah, it is fewer.
Got him. I have a
I should have.
I have a white Throne of Eldraine common that I don't think has any reprints.
The Deafening
Well, if you don't know whether
Silence
it's got
was
reprints, it
uncommon.
probably doesn't have adventure on it then.
Deafening Silence was an uncommon. I've been drafting some Throne of Eldraine on Arena. Let me think here. Is it
No reprints.
the princess?
What princess?
Beloved princess? The 1/1?
No. It's not
I
a
legit
creature.
have no idea.
Oh, not a creature, he said. Trapped in the Tower, as previewed on 9/11 by Wizards of the Coast.
It is
it?
trapped in the tower. This is not a breaking bulk for value. This is a breaking bulk to remind everyone that 4 years ago,
nailed it!
Wizards of the Coast previewed a card called
On 9 and 11.
called Trapped in the Tower on September 11th, 2019. This card has a market price of 3 cents. You should pick it out of your bulk just to look at every now and
For the
again.
memes.
Just to spark joy in your heart.
I cannot believe I guessed that, but I am really good
My
at
buy
breaking
list
bulk.
on copies of Trapped in the Tower is 10 cents.
And BRB shipping Jason 10,000 Trapped in the Towers.
I want to get them signed by Rudolph Giuliani, America's mayor.
Jason, do you have a breaking bulk?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Um,
Can't wait.
It's predicated on Wild of Eldraine, not Throne of Eldraine. This is a black card from the Magic the Gathering set. Okay, so on the MTG Stocks Twitter today, I mixed up Dissension and Guild Pact and told people a card was from Guild Pact when it was really from... Or I said it was from Dissension when it was really from Guild Pact.
That
So this card is
happens.
definitely from Dissension. I double-checked. This is a black uncommon from Dissension that is going up
Bond
on
of
the
Agony.
basis of a... What's that?
Bond of Agony.
Well, I could have given you fewer clues. Bond of Agony is going nuts right now because Rowan Sign of War basically reduces the mana cost of that to 0. And that's very good. As long as you have more life than them, you can just mess them up good. You remember that black-red spell from Ice Age that you can pay life to kill a creature? Well, this does
I know.
X to every opponent. That's pretty good. So Bond of Agony is a real... It's already up to $1. Yank that out of your bulk today.
Yep. All right. I've got a very playable card that I'm gonna here, and it was mostly playable, I think, in Historic, but I've seen it in a lot of formats. A Kaldheim Kaldheim multicolored uncommon.
It's
This is
worth
a
nothing.
blank spot for me.
Is it a saga?
Yes.
Well, that was a long pause for it not to be a saga. What rarity?
It's an uncommon. This card's played. It's not a trick. It's about 60 cents.
Has it been reprinted?
I think maybe it just got a reprint. Let's see.
I don't
Yeah.
know most of the call time.
It just got a reprint. So this is one of those that...
So it's Binding
you know,
of the Old Gods.
It is Binding the Old Gods. It is not Binding of the Old Gods, but it is Binding the Old Gods.
Oh, come on.
No, I mean, you got it. But just so you know, it's also...
But like...
It's also the Lord of the Rings, not Lord of the Rings. And Tales of Middle-earth is hyphen lowercase e, by the way. Everyone out there writing articles. Yeah, but Binding the Old Gods. Sorry, Jason,
There was like 3 seconds after he said that. Can you just add crickets, please?
Yeah, I just dissociated there, like going into editor brain and thinking about all the times I've had to fix Binding of the Old Gods. But yeah, Binding the Old Gods is sweet. I played in Commander even. It's a 4-mana recurable enchantment that destroys something and then ramps you. And then it's got a meaningless, most of the time, 3rd chapter of Death Touch. Unless I guess you have Bowmaster.
You know, Corbin, I rolled my eyes because that reminded me of Quiz Bowl in high school. When I buzzed in and said Dr. Strangelove, and he said, actually, it's Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. And I have never forgotten that pedantic dick, who also, I said Cliff Notes, and he said it's Cliff's Notes.
It's
Wow,
true.
that's
true.
particularly brutal.
Same judge. And the guy was an alumnus of the other team, the other high school. He went to that high school and didn't recuse himself.
And then did he correct you when you originally called him an alumni of that school?
No, I've never used alumni/alumnus incorrectly.
Oh, good for you. And if I knew which one was correct, I could verify.
How do you know it?
I used to know, man.
You used to know?
Yeah, I mean, I was the editor of a newspaper in college, right? It came up.
If I didn't know better, I might say you're one of those people who smoke marijuana like a cigarette and forget things from a week ago, like Douglas over here.
I am at least 7 hours sober.
He did name his store, and he's wearing the shirt, Card Garden.
Card Garden?
Like, I've never seen a more blatant, like, what kind of flower
He
is that
calls
on the
his
shirt,
patrons
DJ?
buds. I'm just getting this now.
Wait, what? That's a good idea. Thank you.
God. All right, moving on. Just moving on from another win at this game for me. 2nd place, Jason. 3rd place, DJ. For an illegal pick, as always. And you still couldn't trick us.
Do you want me? I have a real
No,
pick.
no. I got yours, and it's over now. I put it in the spreadsheet that all of our patrons can see if they go to
You hated him that one. As much
patreon.com/bsb.
as you would have talked about Corbin at this game, you pulled your pants down for him on that one.
It was a good pick. You just can't trick me. Yeah, it's just a steel trap here.
I thought Trapped in the Tower was a green card from a different set, so what do I know?
Well, let's move on here. Let's
I thought it was
talk about
TRAPT in the tower, like the band Trapped.
God. Headstrong. That's all I know. All I know from that band. Moving on though, let's go back to Eldraine, but in a different way here. Wilds of Eldraine is coming out. The previews have begun. We've got food, we've got adventures, we've got fairy tales, we've got gingerbread.
We got the same as last time.
We've got a new mechanic, bargain, which allows you to sacrifice
Only
things.
Will is good and Rowan is evil.
We've got
Sexist, by the way.
wicked roll tokens, whatever that means.
Oh, yeah, the roll thing is actually pretty cool. Cursed is pretty cool. It gives the creature base power and toughness 1/1. It's fairly trivial to get a bunch of creatures cursed, apparently, so that's pretty cool.
I'm into it. It's funny thinking about it for Modern Boggles, and then I remembered that Modern Boggles is not a deck anymore.
Well, the cool thing about it, it's kind of like the backgrounds in Baldur's Gate, but like it's way more flexible, and you can toss that around. I like the roll tokens personally. I'm not going to play any limited of this set as usual, but I think
No pre-release these days, Jason.
Yeah,
I'm looking for. I always get out for. Why did I say always?
maybe I'll
I
head out
try
for
to
the
get
pre-release and get rid of some of these Brainstorm Brewery water bottles that I
Hey, there you go.
just go to the LGS like the bottle fairy.
Well, going to Wilds of Eldraine here, let's run quickly through Mark Rosewater's usual preview / teaser thing here. And some of these we may have already seen, some maybe we haven't. But I'll be honest, I am the type of person who, with how many Magic cards there are these days, I tend not to look at a spoiler until the entire set is available. So some of this is going to be new to me. All right, first up, some things you can expect, Mark Rosewater says, from Wilds of Eldraine. A new type of token. Well, I think we might have figured that one out. A card that can activate to copy enchantments, adventures on a new permanent type. A creature from Alpha that gets a draft archetype. Fairy Tale Sagas. Multiple legendary foods. I like that one. Adventures on a new permanent type. Do we know what that is?
Yeah, it's on.
Well, what has it
enchantments.
never been on?
It was.
Well,
it was
it was
not on enchantments before. I'm like 90% sure.
I thought it was
the
only on creatures, honestly.
Wasn't it only on creatures?
there's the Debtor's Knell plus -3/-3 card.
Yeah, that card's actually really cool. Target
Speaking
creature.
of,
I like it.
We can do our little annual micro segment of how the mighty have fallen. And Debtor's Knell used to be like a $9-10 card from Guild Pack that was just a casual all-star, and it is
Yeah.
a true
Yeah.
bulk rare now, which is just a little funny.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah,
I knew it got
what did they
reprinted.
do? How
once
many
or-
treatments did it get?
It got reprinted in Commander 21, and
It's
it
a
was
mystery
guild.
booster card. It's
Yeah.
a guild kit card.
guild
it's a
kit
Commander
is when
Precon
it died.
card.
Brutal.
That is brutal. That card.
Also,
was,
how many years has it been since anybody other than me cast one of these?
Well, it's been a while, Jason, because I used to play it in my Carador deck. Except back then, my Carador deck was a Teneb deck, and Debtor's Knell was good. And now it's nowhere. It has not been even close to the deck in 5+ years. The new one that I've been cutting, that used to just be a staple in most of my black decks, is Rise of the Dark Realms. I don't know
That-
how.
You can't make me cut Rise of the Dark Realms. From my
You're
core
crazy
games.
for that one.
I don't think I am, because at least in my group, you never win with it unless like
Oh, in your group, is that where?
my group
That
plays
card-
my group plays a lot of board wipes. So like without
Yeah,
haste, you just don't get to attack with that
No.
board.
I never.
Why
kill
would you
people with that
play
card-
in that meta?
That's
I kill
how
people
it
with that
goes.
card on the turn I cast it with like Ashnod's Altar
Sure.
and like other activated ability. You like Gray Merchant them out with Ashnod's Altar.
Well,
and
look,
other
that's a
silly
different
things.
that's a different and probably better way to go about it. When I say I started cutting it, to me it used to just be the black the big mana black finisher that I would play in a lot
Yeah,
of
the
decks,
game's
right?
over.
Except I've cast that card way more times in the past year and not had the game end. It's just like, cool, I got 3 more ETBs and whatever else. I've started putting Breach the Multiverse into that spot. It's a 7 mana card that mills everyone for 10, and then you get something back from everyone's graveyard. And
Play Crashing Drawbridge and just win that turn. Honestly, I,
guess-
don't have too many decks that have Rise of the Dark Realms that don't also have Insurrection, because I mostly play Rakdos if I'm going to play black. So Insurrection is just a better Rise of the Dark Realms sometimes.
I think so.
Not in Corbin's play group where everyone wipes the board.
Well, it's the thing. It's the same thing. I mean, you can play Rise of the Dark Realms, get the stuff, and then get the board
And then play
wiped.
Insurrection to give all the creatures haste.
Yeah, well, it's if you can, at least if you resolve an Insurrection in my group, you're going to cast it when Insurrection is good, it's going to likely have a bigger impact on the game than Rise of the Dark Realms, right? Because the other thing about Rise of the Dark Realms is that graveyard hate and exile is far more prevalent than it was when that card was printed.
Yeah, because they printed Farewell.
Yeah, among other things, but yes, yeah, right.
So nobody gets a graveyard ever. Hooray!
it's going that way. I just thought it was an interesting.
You know what's bad? A
Development.
board wipe. Because they could just play a replenish. Replenish.
Jason,
I'm just like, I just want a wild growth and an enchantress's presence back. And they're like, yeah, I'll mill your graveyard.
do you hate Farewell more or Chromanticore?
Farewell.
What I figured.
I didn't hate Chromanticore, I pitied it.
Okay.
It
Those
was
are
just
very,
it was-
very polar opposite.
It was the Full Metal Alchemist chimera of a Magic card.
Oh, gross. Too soon.
Well,
Mostly because I would love to meld my little girl with a dog who could talk less.
Talk fewer, Jason. Talk fewer.
Moving on with the set.
That's my daughter now.
We've got a new mechanic that batches together 3 items that have been in the game since Alpha, but never batched before. What the hell does that mean?
Does he know the rule of
Corbin,
equivalent
why are you
exchange?
Why are you reading this teaser after 90% of the set has been previewed?
Because I told you, it's all new to me. What is the... Does he understand that
You just talked about Bargain like 20 minutes ago.
Batches haven't been in the game for a long time. Oh, it's bargain.
Artifact
Badges? We
enchantment
don't need no
token.
stinking badges.
Batches were in the game in like pre like 4th edition rules change or whatever.
It's not talking about that kind of batch though. It's
Yeah.
6th
just
edition, 5th edition, whatever edition it was.
Actually, around 5th editions when they came up with their rule batches. What?
I was in
Bargain.
shaking.
It's bargain is my pick of the week is predicated on bargain.
Bargain is good. I like it.
A mechanic that was spoiled last week, and this card still hasn't sold out, and I don't understand.
Well, let's move into pick of the week then.
Should we?
Pick of the week, pick of the week, pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week.
Let's do it.
All right,
Hatching
Jason.
plans.
Yeah, hatching plans. Huh?
How are there still copies of like I get it, there's still like the damaged ones are most of what's on TCG Player. Nobody's bothered to mop up those 58-cent damage copies. But you go to other websites, they still got copies in stock. Hatching plans might not be good, bargain might not be good. You might, but it's something people have noticed, and you are going to just make money going to the LGS and pulling those 4 copies of Hatching Plans out of their $1 box or whatever. Like there are so many copies of this cards that are just loose, and you're going to be able
I have
to buy
loved
them.
this card for a decade plus. This has been one of my pet cards with Heartless Summoning,
Yeah.
Restore Balance. That I have always just loved this card, even for the potential. It doesn't have to be good. Like you said, it does not have to be good. Somebody just has to do something with it. More eyes just have to be on it, and then you sell it for $3, and it's fine.
I was
Yes,
honestly
I
thinking
agree.
for bargain, I thought it'd be pretty cool to play a commander like Zur, where you could go get something that's like, when this comes into play, draw 5 cards and take damage, and you just like sack the enchantment. All that black stuff
Yeah.
that you like to donate with Blim, you could actually just use it as like sick card draw that you get rid of later. But like also if you whip out a Zur deck, everyone's just going to treat you like you're that Zur deck. So
Well, is that Zerdek a thing in 2023?
maybe we can bring some of those old oppressive commanders back now that they suck.
Seriously,
Like, hey
that
guys,
should
sorry,
be...
I'm gonna have to play Rafik, and they're like, "What the? You attack?"
Yeah,
with
I'm not
a
gonna lie.
creature?
That would actually be an amazing content series. Is just go back, put together
To
the Rafik.
2014's Boogeymen.
Yeah, the 10 years ago Rafik list, the 10 years ago Zur list.
Like, hang
It's
on.
Nekusar! Oh no!
Some of those commanders do scale with newly printed cards better than others.
Like
Like,
DJ.
Zur gets all the new broken enchantments that
No.
should cost 6. Like, that's how that works.
But still, like that's true, DJ. When I don't think you necessarily play a lot of random commander, but like when is the last time anyone's pulled out a Zur deck in Commander?
Somebody
Like,
bought one from me last week. That's when.
God damn it, DJ. I hate.
So you're the
That's-
one
That's
Yeah.
why I'm
providing
I know
the
about that, 'cause
community.
Yeah.
Somebody was telling me about all the broken enchantments they can put into play that have been printed in the past 2 years.
No,
and
I
was-
want someone to take the broken deck from 2014, just put it in a pod, and see what happens.
Prosh. Remember Prosh?
Shatter Gang Bros in the Prosh deck.
I'm not gonna lie, Endrick Sar is still a card that 10 years later I'm like, why is this played more?
I mean, hey, my Carador is still good, but that's just because it has a
I've
cost
always wanted
reduction
to have
built in.
Endrick Sar and Divine Visitation out at the same time, so you never make any thralls.
And just make all angels.
Yeah, but like that's a little too 2014 for today's tables when you just get farewelled.
I don't even think a 2014 attack. Sorry, the Naya one.
Oh yeah,
Earl the Miststalker.
Earl. Yeah, I don't even think like an Earl deck would be better than some of the precons today. I'm gonna say that. I think it's true.
I mean,
Just
yeah,
a-
look at like
just a thought.
a Gerson Starn deck versus like a 2014 Earl the Miststalker deck. Yeah.
Yeah, and like a buddy of mine got the Kit Kanto precon, the one that goads things, and that deck is would just laugh at any combat deck.
Oh, the goat one? Yeah. We're just
Yeah.
throwing Rancor in their stuff. It's very funny.
Yeah. Interesting. All right, DJ, what are you looking at for pick of the week here?
So my pick of the week is another reminiscent moment of the original Throne of Eldraine. And I might have picked this 4 years ago, too. Secluded Glen is back down to the price it was.
Oh, that's why you're talking about Walking Dead.
Secluded Glen is back down to the price it was during War of the Spark, which is around $5.
Yeah.
6 months after War of the Spark, Secluded Glen was a $12 card because fairies were in the set, and that was kind of a no-brainer. Secluded Glen still has no reprints. There is a chance that this card is in a Commander Precon. It could be in the list version of Wilds of Eldraine. There are plenty of ways that this card from 2007 could see a reprint for the first time in 16 years.
Oh my god, 2007?
But
Lorwyn, baby.
if it does not see a reprint, we've already seen multiple legendary fairies from Wilds of Eldraine. And
You know what's
this will
what's even wilder than the Wilds of Eldraine? When you said your card, I was like, man, that's way more recent than my card, which was printed back in 2006.
way more recent.
Way more recent.
I would have to
am
agree that
old.
Secluded Glen is very likely to end up in it's in that $5 range, which is like the prime range for it to just get thrown into
It is.
Commander Precon.
You could argue that foils are safer. They're $30, and that the foils are in the camp of if you need one, buy it now. Probably something like that kind of thing. The demand on foil Secluded Glen cannot be astronomically high. Maybe you'll get lucky if you get a play set for 30 a piece, and then you sell them for 50 or something like that. But I would just stick to the non-foils. If you keep your eyes peeled, and notice that the reprint vacuums diminish.
I'm going
Do I have to peel my eyes.
Ice Cream Scooper is okay. Melon Baller is okay.
Right? Like, I never
those are
liked
fine.
that.
Like,
I never liked that idiom.
A regular teaspoon will bend a little bit, so it's not great while you're doing it. Ice Cream Scoop's
Could I just
better.
do an acid chemical peel?
Stop it. Both of you. I'm cringing in pain.
It's not a good idiom. I don't care for it.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm going to throw this out there, though, for DJ's pick here of Secluded Glen. It's not inconceivable that we get some more good fairies out of Wilds of Eldraine. And this is a very playable modern card. And it would not take but one Yuta Takahashi doing well at an event with a fairies deck for Secluded Glen to move based on something like that. And modern is in such a place right now that, hey, who knows? Maybe, like, who knows? It's a lot of things can come back around when you're talking about.
I don't know, man.
Thoughtseizes
Orcish
and
Bowmasters
Flash.
and Subtlety are not fairies, and those are the blue-black cards.
Well, you're obviously playing. Yeah, I mean, you're obviously playing Bowmasters.
You're obviously
The
playing-
question is like, no, I mean, like, you're probably right. I think it would take more things. Like Bitter Blossom's not great, but it's just something to keep in mind because it does seem to pop up from time to time. All right, I'll finish things off with another constructed playable card here that's been getting lower in price, but Walking Ballista is $11. It's getting reprints. It's been in Double Masters within Jumpstart 2022. Got some Secret Lair printing. There are some number of copies out there, but it's off. It's very low where it was just maybe a few weeks ago, a few months over the past few months. The card is still playable. Modern is slowing down due to the new cards being printed. Ballista goes in combo decks, etc. It's just always a powerful card, which is why it's remained $10. But it's climbed back up to 11 from about $9.50 where it was a few weeks ago. So I think that Ballista, as people and paper play continues to ramp up in 2024 with Wizard play programs and all of that Ballista is likely to continue if it dodges another reprint going up.
Sure.
And one more bonus pick of the week is, of course, Coalesce Apparel and Design, where we go for all of our Magic apparel needs. You know it, you love it. It's got your best content creators from across the game there, with some really cool merch, and you can use the gift code Brainstorm Brewery, get 10% off, and you can use that not just on our merch, but on the merch of any of your favorite content creators there. So thank you, everyone, for going there, checking it out, supporting our sponsors.
We're on the front
using that code.
page. We're on the front page of Coalesce. So it's, but you should never need to go to the front page, because you should just, like, use our special.
Have it bookmarked, of course. Yeah. Bypass the front page entirely to go to the BSB page now. But listen, we appreciate everyone who goes there and uses the gift code Brainstorm Brewery. We appreciate Coalesce for sponsoring us, and we appreciate all of you who sponsor us directly at patreon.com/BSB. You get access to the spreadsheets. You get access to the Discord. We talk a lot about the really timely picks and the channels there, in addition to just having a lot of fun. So everybody who supports us there, we appreciate it. You make all of this possible. Jason is here this week, and that means it is the return of the ever-popular segment, Send Jason Things to Talk About.
Yeah, nobody sent me a beer, but I was sent some deck boxes. So
All
company
right,
called
hear it.
Heavy Play is coming out heavy with a bunch of new accessories all at once, and they harness the power to confuse the Insane Clown Posse with their use of magnets. So you have here the clear face deck box, so you can see who the commander is. I could have put cards in there. You have the deck box for your beautiful pink and blue Brainstorm Brewery dice that you got, and you have this foldable, collapsible playmat. But the real secret to what makes Heavy Play so good is the fact that they use the power of magnets. How do they work? They work like this.
Oh, wow.
The deck box, the dice thing, they are attached to the playmat with robust magnets that keep everything from sliding around. So while you're playing, your stuff will be undisturbed. To deploy it as a playmat, you just open it up like this, and you got a nice play surface to keep your cards protected. And they even have sleeves and inner sleeves, all part of the same Heavy Play family. So I gotta say, as somebody that likes having nice little boxes for everything, the fact that the deck box and the dice box clip into each other, and they also stick to each other even inside the packaging. I really like the use of magnets. Quivers are nice, but this whole Heavy Play system, you just clip everything together with magnets, and you're good to go.
Magnets are nice, especially because when you don't have cards in them, you can just use them like a building block.
Yeah, there you go. Anybody who's got kids knows that kids will build with anything. So Heavy Play coming soon. That's a thing I would consider, especially they've got basically all the primary colors of deck boxes and sleeves right now, and they're adding more stuff. You can get everything: inners, sleeves, deck boxes, dice thing, playmat, all part of the same system. It all clips together. Very nice and convenient. Thanks for sending me the stuff, Heavy Play. And you know what? I liked it. I'll give it 2 thumbs up. Is it out of 5, 10, or 2? Who knows? But you're getting 2 thumbs up, Heavy.
Well, there you go. Jason, I have to ask, though, what do clowns have against magnets? And what, I didn't get it.
They don't understand how they work because clowns defy physics on a daily basis. You can't normally get 10 people inside of a little jalopy, but if they're clowns, you can, because clowns don't have bones. That's how they fit under children's beds, and they can get into their nightmares.
I don't like clowns.
No, nobody likes clowns.
I was in the It generation of getting traumatized by that movie.
The Tim Curry one or the new one?
The Tim Curry one. The new
Yeah,
one.
well,
It came out when I was 32.
They're both Yeah, well, if you weren't scared by the It movie, you did it wrong.
That's
Jason, you did forget to do one part of this segment, though.
What?
The segment is called Send Jason a Beer, which means that you have to put all those items into a blender and drink them.
I don't think they're blend.
I just called the segment Send Jason.
Don't send me.
People,
but not good.
People send you beverages and you consume them on the cast. So you have to take a bite out of that playmat. It's just how.
I'll lick it.
Okay, acceptable.
I won't take a bite. I will lick the playmat.
Acceptable.
Look at this. It's like Dairy Queen.
Let's see that tongue, baby. Oh, he really did it. Do you think that was what they wanted when they sent it to you?
Look at that streak, baby. That's a white tongue, ladies. I told you I was gonna do it. What am I gonna not lick a playmat because I was dared to by someone I barely respect? Of course I'm gonna lick the playmat. It tasted, honestly, it tasted better than most playmats. It's not bad. It's just making me hungry to eat the whole playmat.
All right, here goes. All right, we teased it. We almost forgot about it, but here we are. DJ, despite his memory problems, was able to remember to tell us to do this one. So, DJ, tell us about the return of The Walking Dead to Magic, my favorite zombie show I never watched.
Well, it's not so much the return of The Walking Dead, Corbin, but the return of a promise unfulfilled. Wizards of the Coast, more than a couple years ago, they made The Walking Dead Secret Lair. It was one of the first Universes Beyond, I guess, crossovers that we received.
Mm-hmm.
And
people were mad.
a fraction of the player base was unhappy that these shattered their suspension of disbelief and their immersion into the Magic universe. And Wizards pinky swore that they would add skins of these cards that were canon in Magic, so that you could just play with 4 of your Rick but Jace or your Negan but Liliana or whatever.
Or your Zangief but random guy.
Yeah, and so we finally have these cards, and after a couple of years of Rick being a pretty expensive card, I mean, he's okay in a niche and legacy, and he's also...
Oh, no, I just bought one of those. Shit.
Are you serious?
I just traded somebody for a Rick, and it was like $60 or something.
And now you know why that person...
No,
traded
they
the card
didn't. No, it wasn't even that. No, it was just unlucky.
Corbin, you should read an article I wrote in 2014 called The Greater Fool Theory. I really feel like...
It was just like a friend of mine who needed cards, and it was like, I just needed to get X value out of his binder, so I grabbed it because it was a bunch. Damn it.
So we have all of these cards, and I noticed this for the Stranger Things one too. All of the reskins for these characters seem to be, I guess, Innistrad natives. I don't know if they just have a lot of slush.
It does seem to be that way, yeah.
I don't know if they have a lot of slush Innistrad art around, or if it makes sense for this one because they're zombie themed. Like there's a card that makes walker tokens, so Innistrad's sort of the easy alley-oop to just add zombie walker things. But we have Hansk Slayer Zealot as Daryl. We have Gisa's favorite Shovel as Lucille the baseball bat.
When I saw that one in the preview, somebody linked it in a group chat I was in, I was like, oh, that's a neat little equipment. 1,000,000% didn't connect that it was a Walking Dead skin card.
I guess they're doing their job then, and that is just Corbin not reading things in the bottom left-hand corner of cards. But
that shovel's a
I
vampire shovel.
Yeah, I read the rules text. That's it.
The most important one being Greymond Avacyn Stalwart, which is the reskinned Rick. So you can only play, for those who don't know how this works, you can only play 4 of one of the other. You can't play 4 Greymonds and 4 Ricks. They are technically the same card. But this is your friendly little reminder that these cards have finally gotten their alternate versions, and if history is going to repeat itself, the Stranger Things ones were very, very common in set boosters. So it was not hard to get the reskin version of the Stranger Things cards, which means that they were not worth very much. And so the $60 Rick that Corbin so adamantly traded for is probably not going to be worth that much in a few weeks or months. And so this is your generalized reminder that if you own Universes Beyond versions of things that do not have the list reprint versions yet, now may be a good time to consider an exit strategy, maybe decrease the price if you have them listed, or buy list them if there is a good out.
See if I get rid of my Rick.
Also, these cards are very confusing to sites like EDH Rec.
Oh yeah,
like 50% of the bug emails we get is like, I typed in Blanca, and it took me to some weird card. I just want Blanca.
That's also a function of Scryfall, because I know that whenever I alphabetize a batch, Chun-Li is in the Z's because her alternate card or whatever starts with a Z, and so I can alphabetize a batch of magic cards, and Chun-Li is always at the end because whatever her other card is Zagathorpe or something, I don't know, but yeah.
Little secret about the entire Magic internet is that it's almost all built on.
Yeah.
So if it's going to problem somewhere, it's going to be a problem everywhere.
And then it's a problem with other companies refusing to bend the knee to Scryfall and just work with them. But that's a cataloging rant for another day.
Yep,
Corbin, exit the podcast with fewer words or less than words.
So thank you everyone for listening to Brainstorm Brewery. Jason, DJ, Corbin here, checking out for this week. We'll see you all next week.
Oh, you don't get to sign off for me. That's gross.
Get signed off for.
I didn't consent to that.
Get signed off for.